Hi YouTube, tonight I want to do a quick video about a piece of software that I find super helpful for managing many different computers in the house. And that piece of software is called NX NoMachine. It is a remote desktop application, a remote access application that's created by NoMachine. And I first got into this when I was using TeamViewer, but had the unfortunate circumstance of using TeamViewer too long and needing to get a commercial license. At that point, I decided to look into other remote desktop programs, and I decided to go with NX NoMachine. I know my dad had used it for a long time and really enjoyed it. It's great for a lot of reasons. It's free, it's cross-platform, it's pretty light and efficient. And for most of the machines I use are Linux. It, as I mentioned, is portable. It definitely runs on Linux. And since it's cross-platform, if you have an Android machine or an Android phone, for example, or tablet, a Mac laptop, a Mac machine, or Windows, you can interface them all together. It's interesting because looking back, I did a lot of remote desktop management using SSH, but you can argue, NoMachine is a lot more powerful. It's pretty secure as well. I have used NoMachine sometimes from outside the house. I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend that just for safety, but I haven't had any issues with NoMachine getting hacked into. I'm sure if you were to use it, more distantly than just, in my case, being in other locations in the same metro area, maybe you'd want better security precautions. But just with port forwarding on a router, you can easily connect via NoMachine to whichever IP address, whichever machine is port forwarded. So just to go through a little bit of the biased spiel about NoMachine, it's free for everyone to use. Thanks to NX technology, they claim it's the fastest and highest quality remote desktop you've tried. I've had great experiences with it. It's also really easy to use. I tried other remote desktop apps like X2Go and I think RDP, program called RDP. Let me just Google this really quick. Remote Desktop Protocol. Yeah, it was some other RDP app. I think that was a default in Ubuntu that did not work quite as well. There's enterprise products that doesn't apply to my use. I'll be honest, I think my most common use at this point for NoMachine is managing my streaming laptop that I use to broadcast the copacetic music hours, the copacetic music hour on Fridays around 10 p.m. If I need to take care of something on another machine, I can still manage my stream in mixed DJ software over NoMachine and also manage the chat that I conduct in tilde.chat during the course of the hour. These are just some other features. It does transmit multimedia. You get video and audio carried through NoMachine. Screen recording, that's pretty cool. So like what I'm doing right now. Remote admin, centralized access, and then of course they're going to have really positive things. Just to give a little more overview about, I'll look at the Wikipedia page. I didn't realize it was developed in Luxembourg. It's developed by a Luxembourg-based company, NoMachine, SARL. First released in 2003, most recent release in 2023. It's nice that you get alerted to regular updates within NoMachine separate from Ubuntu and apt alerts. I haven't had problems with updating NoMachine breaking anything, and I haven't had problems, with having to wait a long time for getting those alerts. I can be configured to send its data via SSH. I know the typical port that I use is port 4000. You can view and stream audio and video content like I talked about. Compresses X11 data. This is kind of interesting about how they make it so fast. especially over um, more distant connections. Lower bandwidth, derivatives and forks. X2Go, as I mentioned, I had tried. Let's see anything else interesting here. Yeah, and they also have a comparison here of different remote desktops software, and I think this would be listed under proprietary. You can see TeamViewer is not free, and then NX technology is free for personal use. And the copacetic music hour is a free show on a free internet radio station, Tilda Radio. It is proprietary though. Okay. Okay, so with that, I'll go ahead and pull up my NoMachine instance that you can see here. I might as well also pull up a terminal window, sudo service NoMachine status. Oh, I forgot which one. I think it's NX server. Just show you that it's running. Yeah, so you can see this is running since the PC is booted. You can restart this if something goes wrong. I just wanted to point out that you can see that NX server status after you install NoMachine. Oh, before I go into NoMachine, I'll just point out installations super simple. You can just download a Debian package here and then install it using apps. So that's not really complicated. Okay, so flipping back to NoMachine, you can see that I have 6 different machines connected here. You're in one of my previous videos, I talked about my HP Thin client. I'll go ahead and connect to that. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. I'll go ahead and log in. And I leave this dialog up, but it will tell you things like how to get to a menu and change screen settings, what this menu means. It controls input devices, display quality, audio, recording remote desktop activity, which is pretty interesting, session statistics, and so on. Audio streaming, I'm muting audio on the server while I'm connected. I'll go ahead, let's see whether or not audio must also be played on the remote server. Okay. Scale remote desktop to fit in this smaller window. Okay, don't resize the remote display. And there you go. You can see a desktop within a desktop. This is my HP Thin client shown here, the same window that's up on the monitor on that Thin client downstairs. And even within the terminal, it's not as exciting because I could do that with SSH compared with using things in the desktop, but I can interact with this Q terminal window here and do something like screen fetch. I'll just take a second here. You can see all this information about the Thin client I talked about in a previous video. It has a dual core VIA Eden processor. It's not shown here, but it has VIA graphics, 7 gigabytes of system RAM, but 1 gigabyte allocated as video RAM. I'll see if there's anything else interesting I might want to share here. Xdiagnose screensaver settings. But you can see that if there's anything that requires GUI control that might be simpler to manage there, like the copacetic music hour. I can't really manage mix from the command line. I can do that with NX NoMachine. It's super fast. It has pretty low latency even when I've used this outside the house, and it's really user friendly. Let me just go up here and you see I can peel back the edge of the window here, And instead of interacting with the regular desktop, I peel back that edge and then I get the menu for controlling input devices, display, audio, mic, and recording and connection. TCP UDP port 4000, as I talked about earlier, 1600 by 900 display. Software encoding H.264 and session uptime. That's pretty interesting. Let's take a look at devices. This I haven't tried out. I'll have to try this at some time. Passing a connection to a disk, printer, USB device, any of these over a NX NoMachine connection. I did not even think about doing that up until this video. Thank you, YouTube, for inspiring me to do something new with NX NoMachine. Display, you can resize the remote display, scale the window, make it full screen. I won't go through those, but just show you that that is there. Audio, let's see here. That is really cool. Okay, so that's a quick NoMachine demo for you. Let me see if I can show you any other information. I believe this is the latest update, 8.14.2, but I can check if there's a newer version. NoMachine's pretty good, you know, when I boot up in telling me if there's a new update that needs to be done. And you can see copyright 2002 and 2024. Very, very cool. Okay. And yeah, IP address information, performance, and some other settings that you can change. Here, yep, installation is up to date. User acceptance. Yeah, so just more binary settings here you can use to control permissions and security on your server relative to other clients. I also have not used this for file transfer. A lot more that I'll have to explore here. Okay. And with that, I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope you got a glimpse into what I think is the easiest to use and most trouble-free remote desktop program out there, NX NoMachine. I hope this inspires you to use it if you haven't used it before. I think it's a great alternative to TeamViewer. If you have any experiences with NoMachine, maybe some critiques of it or more cons, you know, I didn't mention anything in particular that I thought was a disadvantage here, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and please like and subscribe as always. Have a great one.